Up YouTube, peace, Hotep, the black man is God. Today I'm making a movie, not a movie, I'm making a video about Blade and the upcoming movie. Yes, that's right. Blade is finally getting another fucking movie. Sadly, it's not going to be played by Wesley Snipes. R.I.P. Blade as Wesley Snipes. He's the OG. He's going to be the best. He's the actual real martial artist. But this guy, Mahershala Ali, he was in was it Luke Cage as Cottonmouth, and he was in Battle Angel Alita as the villain, and he looks like he can be a good Blade. And I don't he probably didn't really need to know any real martial arts because when Wesley Snipes was doing it, it wasn't no CGI. It was all him. But now we're at a stage in movies and films where you don't really need to know any of that shit. So I'm pretty sure that they can CGI this shit up and make him look like he knows some real martial arts. But I would have been happy if they would have got Wesley Snipes to do it, or they could probably still get Wesley Snipes to do it like a Netflix series that's like separate from the movie. I just don't want to give up on Wesley Snipes being Blade, but this is it. They said that it's gonna be phase 5, so that's not the current phase that's coming up. It's gonna be like after 2021 when you can even start thinking about that they're gonna be making Blade. So it's gonna be a long wait. Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it is happening. Mawashwala, I forgot. I don't even know how to say his name. Mawashwala Ali is going to be the new Blade. I hope it's going to be just like not just focusing on vampires. It's going to be a complete reboot, of course, but I hope it's going to be like werewolves and zombies and the reiteration of Dracula. Let's make Dracula right again. And make Dracula like how he is in the comic books. Maybe he can fight against Morbius. There's a new Morbius movie coming up. So, however that does, maybe that might play into Blade because in the comic books, Morbius did kind of create Blade, or he gave Blade. He didn't create Blade, but he kind of gave Blade some of his powers. They had like a back and forth thing going, Morbius and Blade, and that was going to actually Morbius was going to be in the first Blade movie as an Easter egg at the end, but they decided to cut that out. So I don't know. I'm just excited. I've been so pissed off about all these other stupid ass movies, Hellboy, and all these movies that they could have used. Blade. Blade could have been. It's about demons and hell, and he's a hero. There's a kind of he's a evil, but he's good. So there've been a lot of movies like that, and with the movie, if you watch the original Blade and you watch the original Deadpool movie, those movies are very similar. A lot of cursing, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, a lot of just craziness going on. So with the success of Deadpool, I hope that they make Blade rated R because Blade is a rated R movie. Please don't make that shit PG-13. We need blood, we need curse words, we need all that shit. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for the new Blade movie starring Mahershala Ali? Are you sad that Wesley Snipes is not going to be a part of the movie anymore? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace. Hotep, the black man is God, and I am out. Hotep, the black man is God. Today I'm making a video about the real reason why Wesley Snipes was replaced as Blade in the upcoming new movie. I guess Blade is what it's called. All right, so let's start. The first thing that people are going to say is he's too old. Now, I'm going to say no on that because look at Samuel L. Jackson in the Captain Marvel movie and look at Samuel L. Jackson in the latest Shaft movie, and they have technology to make you look younger. And plus, Wesley Snipes doesn't even really look that old, and the Blade character ages like a regular human. And the guy that they have replacing him is not even really that much younger. He's not like 20 or 30. He's damn near 50. So he's not even really that much younger than Wesley Snipes. So it doesn't have anything to do with age. All right. Number 2, the second thing that they're going to say is Wesley Snipes is hard to work with. All right. No, I'm going to say no on that again because they say it was because of the third movie that he was given a problem. The first 2 movies, nobody had a problem with him. Nobody had a problem with Wesley Snipes in the first 2 movies. But the third movie, they had a problem with him because he didn't have that control that he had. in the first two movies, and the control was given to other people. And if you really go back and look at that third movie, it's critically just like panned. Most people say that's the worst one out of the trilogy, and it's because they focus mostly on a stupid bitch with a bow and arrow and like the Blade crew, I guess. I don't know. Blade was Harley in that movie, and it was just horrible. Like the string flips at the beginning of the movie, and like the whole thing was just horrible. Everything was bad about that movie. It was the worst one. I mean, it was all right because it is a Blade movie, and he did kind of save it a little bit just because he is Wesley Snipes, and he did kind of create the Blade character as we know it today. Because if you go back and look at the comic books, the Blade character that they presented to us, and the Blade character that Wesley Snipes presented to us is totally different. So he needs to have credit for that. And not only did he create the Blade character, he pretty much created the Matrix series, because the Matrix copied after, because Blade came out first. Remember that. The Matrix copied the trench coat, the shades, and the guns and all that. All right, and then you're going to want to say something else. Something else. They were going to say why. I gotta go. My son just wow. I'm not gonna stop the video. I'm not gonna stop making a video. What I was gonna say is there's another you know what? I'm gonna continue this in another video, part 2. Why Blade was really replaced as Wesley Snipes. What up, YouTube? Peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. Now, I was rudely interrupted by my son in the last video, but I will get these thoughts out, all right, about why Blade was replaced, or why Wesley Snipes was not used to be Blade in the upcoming Marvel movie. Now, in the last movie, the last video I left off talking about how they were saying that he was hard to work with, and then I went on to say that third movie was horrible, and it was the director's fault, and they made a horrible movie, and they wanted to blame it on Wesley Snipes because he was trying to fight them the whole way because they were making a crap movie. All right, and if you want to say, oh, it was Wesley Snipes' fault for fighting them the whole way, that's why the movie came out crap. After that movie came out and it was crap, they made a whole new Blade miniseries on Spike TV without Blade at all, without Wesley Snipes, at all. And that shit was even worse than the movie. That shit was horrible. And they made it all about some white girl that was in some mafia thing. I don't even know what the fuck. I tried to watch it because I loved the Blade character, but that shit was just awful. It was horrible. And it was the same people that made the Blade 3 movie. So don't try to say, oh, Wesley Snipes was hard to work with. No, the people that he was working with were idiots. And that's why it was hard to work with him, because they were ruining the movie. They were destroying it. All right. Another reason why they didn't use, that's another reason they'll say why they didn't use Wesley Snipes as Blade is because of, I don't know why they're going to say it. Because really, if you really think about it, he's perfect. Like I said, the whole Matrix franchise copied off of him, and he's the actual martial artist, and he created that kind of Blade character that we know today. But I think there's another reason that is not being really spoke of why they didn't use him, is because there was a conspiracy to destroy him. The first movie was a sleeper hit. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Marvel Studios was about to die. It blew up, so they had to make a sequel because Marvel Studios needed the money. The second was even bigger than the first one. And then that's when all the problems with Wesley Snipes started, because they didn't really need him no more after that. They got on their feet and they moved on. But in order for there to be a third movie, he had to go to jail, and there was a whole lot of other shit. Like they destroyed that man. Like they put him in jail, and he had like land in Georgia, and he was kind of in cahoots or into had some business with this Malachi Z. York guy and the Nuwapians, and there's a lot. He had a lot. If you look at the first two movies, it was under a production company called Amin Ra, and that's like a kind of a Black Power thing. So Wesley Snipes kind of got a Black Power thing going on, but I think that's why they tried to stop him. Even though he has like a Asian wife, and you know he did the Tu Wong Fu movie where he put on the dress, so he seemed like he was kind of being a Hollywood player, like he's going along with the status quo of what they want you to be as a black man. But He's still YouTube. Peace, Hotep, the black man is God. Today I'm making a video about why Mahershala Ali was chosen to be the new Blade. Okay, first off, I'm going to say he's a great movie villain, and that goes in line with Wesley Snipes. He was a great movie villain, and it was a movie New Jack City where he really showed that he could be a really good bad guy, but not just a good bad guy, but kind of a likable bad guy, and that's what this Mahershala Ali guy does. In the Netflix series Luke Cage, he played the season 1 villain Cottonmouth. He was killed at the end of that season, but he really is the one who made that first season of Luke Cage the hit that it was, because you wanted to see Luke Cage finally take him out, and he's a great actor. And my second reason I think they chose Mahershala Ali to play Blade is the Blade animated series. He looks like the Blade from the Blade animated series, and there's a lot of other Blades in animation that kind of look like Mahershala Ali with the bald head, so he kind of does fit the part. He gives off that kind of Blade vibe. Another reason they chose Mahershala Ali is Battle Angel Alita. He was the villain in that. He didn't get much screen time, like he didn't get as much character development as he did in Luke Cage to be like a really hateable villain. But he did a good job, and he really put off some Blade vibes with the shades, and the black. He's wearing all black with the shades, so he kind of put off some Blade vibes. And pretty much that's my video about why they chose Mahershala Ali. He's a good villain. He's played a likable villain, and he's pretty much a big black guy with shades. So that's it. That's my video. I will be making more videos about Blade because I'm obsessed with this. I'm finally getting the Blade movie that I wanted all these years, and this guy seems like a good actor, and he's good for the role. R.I.P. Wesley Snipes, though. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace, Hotep, the black man is God. I'm out. Peace, Hotep, the black man is God, and I'm back with yet another Blade MCU Marvel reboot video. Okay, in this one, I'm going to be talking about whether I think Blade reboot will be rated R or PG-13. Now, obviously, from this picture, you see, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be rated R. But what a great thing that it would be to let it go ahead and be rated R. But I think that's another reason for the reboot, is because they're gonna kind of nerf Blade a little bit. But I don't think it's gonna be too bad, because there's a lot of different ways you can play with vampires without you having to have all the blood and gore. And I guess you can cut back on the cursing a little bit and still come across still badass. All right, and just a thought: will the new Blade reboot include Spider-Man, Morbius, or have some kind of crossover with Wolverine? Who knows? Now, I really do love the original Blade movies because they had two different ways of exploding vampires. This one right here is like the really gruesome way, and there was like blood splattering everywhere. I kind of seriously doubt that we'll get the really gruesome exploding vampires. What I think is we'll get this, like the disintegration of the vampires, or like turning into dust of somehow. So therefore you still get the point that these vampires are dead now, or they're being disintegrated. They're through. They're destroyed. But there's no blood, there's no gore. So I think that's how they can get away with killing and slicing people with swords without really getting a rated R rating. I mean, the first movie, like, look at this scene, like, everybody's covered in blood. We're not going to get anything like that, where people are covered in blood. The iconic scene from the first movie where he's in the club and everybody's covered in blood. I mean, that's what I want from a Blade movie, a vampire movie. It has to have blood. I mean, that's what it's all about. And there's always a scene in Blade where he drinks blood. So I don't know how they're going to get around a vampire movie without blood. But I mean, there's one way to, explode them, but still there has to be blood. It's in some capacity. So it's going to have to be either a hard PG-13 or it's going to have to be rated R. And they got the Deadpool property as well. So I guess however they handle Deadpool and Blade, I think they're going to be handled the same, but we don't know because they haven't created a new Deadpool yet, and we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping for a rated R, but it's Disney, so we don't really know. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Will Mahershala Ali be able to take Wesley Snipes' reign, but will they nerf him? Will Mahershala Ali be able to do Blade without blood and cursing? Will this be total trash? Will they be a crossover with Spider-Man? Who knows? All right, just let me know what you think in the comments below about what you think, if it's going to be rated R or not. Peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. I'm out. Peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. Today, I'm making another video about the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe Blade reboot. And today, my video is going to be talking about, will they be exploring Blade's family? All right. In the comic books, he has a daughter, and I want to know if they're going to be doing any like an origin story. Maybe they'll talk about a love interest. Like in the first Blade movie, that woman that he saved because she kind of like reminded him of his mother, I really felt like that there was some kind of attraction between them two. And in the second movie, he had a love interest to the vampire girl, but she died. But the first movie, the girl didn't die, and I felt like they should have kissed at the end. I forget what her name was, but I think she did a great job in that movie. And I really felt like there was a lot of chemistry between the two characters, and maybe they could have, had a daughter, and that could be explored in the upcoming movie. I mean, I know it's a complete reboot, so they would have to like recast and retell the story. So, what do you think? Do you think that they should explore Blade's family? Should he have a love interest? Should he have a daughter? I think maybe they should just go ahead and retell the story. So they shouldn't start off with him having a daughter. They should just start off maybe him finding a new love interest and then building up to that, or they can just kind of tell it in a like flashback. Who knows what they're gonna do with the plot of this movie? But those are my thoughts. I mean, I really like the first Blade movie. And the second one, the two best Blade movies are the first and the second one. In each one, there was some kind of love interest. There was a dynamic between him and the female character. I think that's what makes Blade so great, the dynamic between him and the female character. The third movie didn't have that. And I mean, you could say Whistler's daughter, but there was no like attraction there. He was more like a father figure to her. That's why I really probably think Blade's daughter probably wouldn't work, because it already didn't work with him as like a father figure. I think more a love interest like the first movie. And I mean, and like the first movie because I wanted to be a black woman, but the second movie was even better because it was felt like there was more of attraction there, even though they didn't kiss. And I really want to see that too. I want to see Blade, kiss a girl and, possibly make a baby. So that's it. That's my video. Do you want to see Blade's family, a love interest, a potential daughter? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. I'm out. Up YouTube, peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. Today, I'm making a video about what I do not want to see in the upcoming Blade MCU reboot. Okay, now, as you can see, I have the picture of the Sticky Fingers TV series Blade. Now, Sticky Fingers is one of my favorite artists. I love his music, Onyx, they go hard. But this was the worst Blade I have ever seen in my life. And he could have been good because he looks like he could be Blade. Like, he looks the part and he even has a voice for it. But this is, all right, this is what I'm telling you, what we should not be in the upcoming Blade reboot. Number one, they changed him from having a martial arts background, martial arts training, to him being like a brawler, a street brawler. He grew up on the streets by himself and he didn't have any real training and he was like a brawler. Like, what the fuck? Like in like the fight scenes that he have, like he's just swinging the sword like a fucking amateur. Like he's not trying to be precise, and they made it a point to make it to make you know that he's not a samurai. He doesn't have any real training, no real martial arts training. He's just running around beating people up and being more like a brawler. Like, no, he needs to have a martial arts training background in his story. I know this guy Mahershala Ali is probably not a real martial artist, but they can train him to act like he has some real martial arts training. Another thing I do not want to see from the Blade reboot is, I'm gonna go back again because this TV series was the worst Blade thing ever. I tried to watch. Blade's my favorite character. I got everything Blade. I got this 2 times. I bought this, and that's crazy. I bought the TV series 2 times, and I fucking hate it. But every time I see something Blade, I have to buy it. Anyway, going back to what I don't want to see is they made this story about some other person. The girl, and she was trying to infiltrate the vampires so he could learn how to get in there. And the whole season was just about, like, every time I turned it on, it's just, you just see this girl and she's talking to vampires and and it's like, oh my God. And then anytime you see Blade, he just like fights somebody really quick. And then it's like, he's not even the mastermind. There's another thing. The next thing is, do not make Blade just some big black guy who's stupid. Make him intelligent, because in the TV series, like the guy who replaced Whistler, because they didn't even have Whistler, they had some Chinese guy, some Asian guy, and he was like the brains of the organization. He once figured out everything. He told Blade what to do. Blade just go here, follow behind the Asian dude, follow behind the white lady, and then he just going around beating people up. But he's not really even, you know what I'm saying? He's like a side thought in his own show. That's what was the third movie, and they try to make it about the Blade crew or the Blade gang or the Blade Fellowship or whatever that shit was, and they tried to make the story about the girl with the bow and arrow, and they had so many other characters, and Blade was just like a side note in his own movie. Don't do that. If the movie is called Blade, make it about Blade, please. That's all I want you to do, and that's my video. This is what I do not want to see from the Blade reboot. Peace, Hotep, the Black Mother's God. I'm out. To Peace, Hotep, the Black Man is God. Today, I'm making a video about who I think the Blade Marvel MCU reboot main villain should be. Now, of course, we can always go with Deacon Frost. Deacon Frost is, of course, Blade's arch nemesis. All right, we already did Deacon Frost in one of the movies, and we did Deacon Frost in the animated series. So, I mean, I think we've done that enough. But, you know, that's just a tried and true Blade villain. That's what you could do if you're going to reboot. But, you know, Deacon Frost being his main arch nemesis, I don't think that's probably smart to do for the first movie. So, yeah, maybe we can go with Blade's mom. All right, now in the other animated series, the Spider-Man animated series, Blade's mom was actually a villain she had like power. She could fly. She could turn other vampires turn other people into vampires. But she was also using the recombination. I forgot what the name of that fucking machine was that turned Morbius into a vampire. But she was like working with Morbius, and they were like, yeah, vampires and evil. And in the first movie, when they used her, she had like a little tiny minor role, and it felt like they just added her in there just to just throw it in there, and it really, they could make her like a main villain, because that's like somebody who can get into Blade's head and really fuck with him, Blade's mom, as the potential villain. All right, and finally, we have Morbius. I believe, and we have Jared Leto, who is going to be playing Morbius in the upcoming movie, and who knows, we may have a crossover with Blade. Maybe Blade makes an appearance in the Morbius movie, and you know, that's how we see, because remember how we saw Captain America? No, not Captain America. I'm sorry. We saw Black Panther in Captain America before he had his own solo movie. So maybe we might see Blade in Mobius before he has his own solo movie. That's my thoughts. I think maybe Morbius would probably be the best villain for him, because we already did Frost and he's a vampire, but Morbius is also connected to the Marvel in a different way. He's connected to Spider-Man. Maybe we can get some kind of Spider-Man crossover, seeing that Spider-Man is in the MCU now. But the whole Morbius and Venom thing, like, I don't know, because they are kind of owned by Sony. So those are my thoughts. Either Deacon Frost, Blade's mom, or Morbius to be the potential villain for the upcoming Blade MCU reboot. You let me know who you think should be Blade's villain in the new reboot. Thanks for listening to the video. Peace. Hotep, the Black Man is God, and I'm out. What's up, YouTube? Peace. Hotep, the Black Man is God. Today, I'm making a video about the Blade Marvel reboot, MCU reboot with Mahershala Ali. All right, it's really not about the Mahershala Ali Blade movie, but more about the Blade character and the reality of Blade. Now, one can say, or I can say, what I made a post earlier today, that Blade is a black man fighting, defending himself against pale people who are very rich and drink blood and are burned by the sun. Sounds like my life. All right, that was my post. All right, because you got to look at it. I mean, no offense to the Caucasian people, but they not all of them, but the elite people who run the world are pale people who are burned by the sun and drink blood. And I'm not just making this shit up. Look up adrenochrome. Adrenochrome is blood. It's blood from babies that have been terrified. And these elite, rich, pale people, they drink the blood of terrified, dead babies because it gives them some kind of a high. I'm not making this shit up. I swear to God. They drink blood. All right? They say it makes them younger. They said it gets them high. Adrenochrome. What was the movie with Johnny Depp? Something about a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where they exposed the adrenochrome thing and how the elite get high off of blood. And you know, that's it. That's the truth. You know, black men are really under attack by the elite people who drink blood every day. Just, just look at the history of America. Look at the history of the world. It's evil, pale people drinking blood, killing black people, especially black men. So that's why I probably like Blade so much, because it kind of turns everything on its head, and it says these Illuminati of blood drinking people are going to be taken down by this black man. That's why I really believe Wesley Snipes was arrested, and I really believe that they didn't choose him because he, in the first movie, he was just like beating the fuck out of white cops and these white elite people that were just running the world and doing evil shit. And I think they didn't like that because he was a black man, and the name of his production company was Amin Ra. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that black people know that the ancient Egyptian people were black or are black. And, just because the people in Egypt today don't look black, those are outsiders. The last dynasty was King Tut. I'm going off on a tangent. But pretty much that's my video. All right. Blade kind of mirrors reality, my reality. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Albino, cave people drinking blood, and they hate people who can walk in the day walkers. People who can be out in the sun and not get burned. Peace, Hotep, the black man is God, and I'm out.